What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Real Words Talk. It's been a minute, and we're back with a late night live with your home of all things Manchester United. We're focused on transfers tonight, and I'm joined by Nick McCabe, as always, the man who thinks Darmian was just misunderstood. Nick, how are we feeling?
Is that the tagline that we're going with? The man who's misunderstood. I'll tell you what was misunderstood. His fucking beard was misunderstood. I don't know what he was doing with that. It was fucking patchy and all over the place.
Does it qualify?
Much like my appearances on this channel in a minute, patchy.
Does it qualify as a beard, though, if it's not connected?
I mean, I am by no rights can have an opinion on beards because I can't grow one myself. So
Same.
I'm not, professional when it comes to that. But anyone can look at it and just say that's just a patch on your face, mate. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Clearly not him. Clearly he's happy with it. Yeah. So yeah, God knows.
Let us know in the chat if you think it's a beard or not. Interested.
Yeah, please do.
Out. Yeah, we've got a couple of things. We're focused on the midfield tonight because there's been a lot of stuff come out about potential recruitment in the midfield, potential leavers in our midfield. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to get into. The first one I want to get into, Nick, is a new name that we haven't heard before. Gomes from Wolves.
Oh yeah.
United are reportedly very interested in João Gomes. This is come from Ben Jacobs and also from Graham Bailey, and I think there was one more as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, United are reported very interested in João Gomes from Wolves. If Wolves are likely to go down, clubs could pounce as early as January. Wolves once valued him at 60 million, but that could drop fast. Tenacious Brazilian Premier League proven, still only 23. Seems like he ticks a lot of boxes for United. If Wolves are struggling, Nick, should United strike early in January and test the resolve? Or do we wait till summer and then risk losing him to somebody else?
I don't think they're going to do business in January, first and foremost. It's just like a gut feeling, nothing to go off. But I don't think they're going to go spend 40, 50 million. I'm willing to be proven wrong. With João Gomes, I'm sure Matheus Cunha will know plenty about him, with him being a Brazilian international and obviously playing at the same team as him. And I'm sure he's maybe even as much as been asked about him as a player and what he kind of brings, his profile as an actual person. For me, whenever I've watched him, and don't get twisted, I don't watch Wolves,
it's hard to watch Wolves at the minute.
Yeah, they're difficult. They are absolutely dog shit. But if you're watching them as a team and you're looking for players that are actually doing all right, it's Andre Gomes and it's fucking João Gomes and Strand Larsen probably are the three players you watch and you go, actually, they've got a bit of something about them. So I don't mind him. When I've watched it, he seems very industrious, very, gets about the pitch, loves a tackle, loves the yellow card. I'll tell you that for free.
Another one. Don't need another Brazilian who he likes the yellow.
Yeah, if you're buying him for depth, then I'm all right with it. Is he a starter though, Sam?
Well, that's my question. I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Does he replace Casemiro, for example, or are we romanticizing like another bottom half midfielder? Like you said, does he come in for depth wise?
Yeah, I honestly, and if there are a Wolves fan in the chat, I don't see much difference in regards to him to Ugarte, if you know what I mean. Like, they just kind of get about the pitch quite a lot, and these elements that we've seen of Ugarte in games where we've been like, like the performance at Anfield, for example, where we've appreciated it and seen the qualities that he's got. I feel like we need someone better on the ball, like quality as well as the tenacious side of it, which I'm sure we'll get into the targets later on. So it doesn't really, if I'm shopping and I see a packet of like, I don't know, salt and vinegar Chris, I'm like, I might have him, but it won't be my first choice. You know what I mean? So João Gomes is that salt and vinegar crisp analogy.
It does sort of make me feel better that we're looking at that type of target, that we're looking at a potential gem that's not quite been put up. Like Cunha, for example, that was a gem, and he's putting in, he's absolutely flourishing. In Mbumo, another one, you platform him and he becomes fantastic. Maybe he becomes that. I don't know. I've not watched enough of it, but it's good to see that we're targeting those sort of players. Like back in the day, who would United be targeting? Like, there'd be loads of talk about us probably going for Vitinha or something like that, wouldn't there?
Just, do you mean less obvious types? Is that what you're saying?
Like we did, Papers or Edward would be going after unrealistic targets, and then all our eggs in that basket, and then not get him at the end of the day. That's would be the old thing. So it's nice. It's nice to see we've got multiple targets. So speaking of multiple targets, Elliot Anderson, obviously he's playing tonight. for England. I'm not watching it because why would I? He is an interesting player. I really, really like him. I think his stock has gone up recently. His profile's got especially gone up recently. There was a price tag that was floating about 120 million, which I think is a bit nonsense. But Ben Jacobs has apparently reported that his contract apparently includes complex clauses that could allow a cheaper summer transfer. The price will be above 50 million, but it will not be above 100 million. So we're looking maybe, like you said, 60, 70, 80 million. If the fee drops significantly, do United need to go in and make a statement move for this? Because there's been at the end of this tweet that Ben Jacobs put out, he said that he's not looking to move in January. So it's going to be a summer move, which means we'll have more money. Or is this, again, another overhyped English Premier League talent, such as Mason Mount, where we're paying 60 million for him in his last year of his deal and he was injured for 2 years? Are we looking at that, or is this the genuine deal?
We've just been talking about João Gomes and how Wolves might go down. Now, Forest might be okay under Sean Dyche. They've certainly improved. Yeah. I mean, we saw that firsthand against us when we played them at the City Ground. But it's not to say that they're definitely not going to go down. So even more so, I mean, the amount of clubs that would be interested if they get fucking demoted to the Championship, you can imagine. There'll be a lot of people there, a lot of sharks kind of circling. Because I do feel like there's quite a few teams who want to invest in the midfield or in that area, maybe heading into the summer. So, I mean, you said you wasn't watching England. I was watching them purely for the fact of just because there's no football at the minute. And I feel like a crackhead.
Were you watching Cameroon before as well?
Withdrawals. No. Well, I'm sure we'll speak about that later on. But just to see some form of football, just to get me hit, basically. And you know what? The more times I watch him, the more he impresses me. Like, his forward passing is genuinely one of the best in the Premier League. His intensity, the ability to cover ground. I like everything that I'm seeing with it in a minute. But the one thing, or the caveat with that, I'll probably say is it feels like, I don't know if you feel the same, feels like a little bit of a flavour of the month at a minute. Like, no one was talking about Elliot Anderson, a month ago, 6 weeks ago, whatever. Everyone was hot on Baleba and how he's going to be a game changer. And now Baleba's had a bit of bad form. People are like, oh, no, we're not going to go for him now. So I still like Carlos Baleba, to be honest with you. And I think, judging by reports and everything David Ornstein's saying, I think United is still very much in for him. So it doesn't really matter, does it really? Like, either of them would be great, right?
Both would be.
Well, ideal, both ideally. It might cost quite a bit, but
well, we'll get into
I like both.
We'll get onto exits later, which could potentially fund these two both. Obviously, you just touched on what you like is like how he plays in that and these passing and stuff. Do you think his development? Obviously, he's a young player. Do you think his development ceiling is high enough to actually elevate our midfield, or again, is he just going to be depth behind the likes of Bruno, Mainoo, Ugarte example?
I don't know if we're going to get onto Casemiro a little bit later on, but I suppose it happened. It basically, whatever happens with him, I think we'll decide it really, given his performances this season. So with Elliot Anderson, I think there is more scope for him to improve, which is pretty exciting because he's pretty damn fucking good at the minute.
Yeah.
And I think he is a player typically who Sir Alex Ferguson probably would have signed back in the day. I think he would look at him and be like straight on it. It's weird though because now the kind of tacticians and the stat people might tell me, oh no, we've been watching for ages or whatever. But like I said, it's just kind of come round recently. People started going on about him. Like I saw his performances last season. I thought he was decent, but it does feel like he's took it up another level. And even watching him, like his performances for England as well. It's just like, I feel like he'll probably have a really important role in the World Cup, in which case that's going to just boom his value even more. So if he doesn't go to us, I think he's definitely going to go to a big Premier League team, 100%.
I think it's a weird thing because, like you said, this season he's exploded. Last season he had DC, but it seems like a lot of talent that Newcastle had there in their academy that they were forced to sell, they're regretting. Anderson, Yakuba Minte is another one. Like, there's a lot of people they've let go, and they seem to be hitting in like this season. So it's an interesting thing. I think keep your eye on this guy. I think he might be like something special. But like you said,
100%.
Let's hopefully he keeps going this season and he's proves it. Speaking of Casemiro, we just touched on Casemiro's future. United are willing to offer him a 1 to 2 year extension, but would have to be on reduced wages. If he's likely to stay, he will need to take a big pay cut. Now, he's on 350, 375k a week, depending on who you believe. I'd say he's been arguably one of our better players this season. Last season, he was terrible. The first season he came in, he transformed our midfield, and I think was the reason we did so well in his first season. Do you think he should accept reduced terms to stay? Because obviously he's an important part of the team. He's doing well, and he would help that leadership and that knowledge to sort of bring on to the next generation, like a Mainoo. Say we bring in an Elliot Anderson or Baleba, they could learn so much from him. It could take the pressure off him if, say, we do get into Europe and we're rotating. It takes the pressure off him playing every game. Or do you think if he does stay and he takes a back step, does that damage his legacy if he's then a backup at United?
Isn't it mad how quickly football can change?
Yeah.
Like, had you said that after the Crystal Palace game when we lost 4-0 and he was playing at centre back under Ten Hag, I would argue 99% of United fans would be like, he's definitely gone. There's no way back.
Jamie Carragher, the famous line, leave the football before the football leaves you.
And it just goes to show you can't. I mean, there was not bigger scale, but there was a similar thing with the Nemanja Matic when people were writing him off, and then he was still pretty solid for us in midfield. It's a weird one. I really don't know with Casemiro, because you saw nowadays, watch any 10, 20 minutes when he's not on the pitch, it just goes to shit, doesn't it? Chaos. It's like we just take the complete, imagine a tent, the pole in the middle. It's like we just take that out and everything collapses completely, doesn't it? Even when we bring on the likes of Ugarte or whatever. So I would like to keep him around. Is how do you find that kind of balance where he's going to agree, where you say, okay, you're not going to be on 375 grand a week. Even if you drop that down, Sam, to 200,000, people are like, oh, that's still a reasonable wage, but he's still dropping £170,000 out of his wage. So I don't know if they're going to find even ground on that, but we do know that he's happy in Manchester, right? We've seen quite a bit of that he wants to stay. So maybe they can. And I'd be open to it at least. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, no, I think if he continues the performances he's doing right now, I'd love to see him as a part of a future midfield where, like I said, he brings on knowledge and leadership and stuff to Anderson, Baleba, those sort of guys. We don't know. Next summer, we could see so much change in that midfield. Like Casemiro's contract. So does Bruno go? That's still up in the air. We're going to get onto another midfielder in a minute, who could possibly leave as well. So you could argue you need 3 midfielders. So letting all 3 go, is that a good idea? To just totally strip it out? It's an interesting
I can't see that happening, to be honest. I can't see him get rid of that many players. I think there will be what we've seen basically this summer with the attack. I think you'll see that with the midfield, and maybe even next summer after you see the same with the reinforcements in defence and really kind of up the level in each kind of department. Getting rid of them 2 in particular, they're arguably the most experienced players. Yep. Bruno and Cass probably won the most out of everyone in the team. So that is a real kind of strong bond and a strong nucleus. Even though the amount of times we spoke about that the midfield isn't good enough and they get overrun or whatever, at the moment it'd be really hard to shift it. You'd have to bring in a player who hits the ground running.
It's the depth in it. That's the problem in the midfield.
Yeah, you're going to get a transitional period, and having someone like Casemiro to guide him through that transitional period, that might be the best thing to do on a rolling contract, 1-2 years, like you said, and maybe go out like that. I won't completely cut him off.
Let's speak on a possible Casemiro replacement. Carlos Baleba. United have reportedly completed all the groundwork and even secured the players' approval for a move. A summer move looks realistic at this point. Obviously, we've touched on Carlos Baleba God knows how many times. Athletic, aggressive, progressive, young, ticks a lot of boxes. Price is definitely a question mark. Obviously, had a bit of a struggle this season so far. Do you think, again, is he the automatic Casemiro replacement for you? Is he the one where, if Casemiro does go, that's the guy? He's the replacement?
Yeah, a lot of people making a lot about his dip in form, which I don't know why it doesn't bother me as much as it seems to bother everyone else. I'm not too fussed. I get it. It's human. It was a massive move to United. He probably got himself amped up. Probably not as much as me when I did the song on Instagram. But I'm sure he had it envisioned like, oh my God, I can go in the midfield alongside Bruno and work with all these new
Casemiro
players.
as well. He's probably one of his
Yeah, exactly. You know what I
idols, I
mean? Like
imagine. He probably grew up watching him.
he's a Cameroon international, so obviously he knows Baleba quite well and Onana, and he would have heard about the vibe of the club, and it would have just threw him completely. Is that an acceptable excuse for him to not be putting in the performances or level of performances? Probably not. I still think he's a top quality player, and I still think his ceiling is absolutely fucking massive. And if anything, his price is going to be cheaper, right? By the time we get to the summer, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think Brighton are going to get 115 million for the same price as Casado because the performances simply don't warrant it. But I don't think his performance is enough to put us off going into getting. So if gets to summer and they're like we want 80 million, let's say for example, 100% I'd take it. I think he has everything a modern prototype midfielder. I mean, you've watched him as well as I did. You've seen him carry the ball box to box. His passing's really good. He's energetic. He covers ground like Kante.
You can't get the ball off him either. He's very
he's
hard.
strong, super strong, intelligent. Yeah, I mean, if we was writing down on the list now, Sam, saying what we want from midfield, it's him, innit?
Yeah. Because the amount of times you see, like, we're going to touch on a guy in a minute. The amount of time you saw him lost the ball last season was it did by heading. And you never see Baleba lose the ball. You never see it. He holds on to it so well, and it's something we're crying out for.
Remember the West Ham game with Ugarte?
Yeah,
oh, mate,
that was when he was dropped, wasn't he? He was dropped after that. Like, just didn't play a game after that. So we've already got his approval, and it looks like it's probably going to be summer when we do go for him. Do you think we face more competition? Because obviously, the summer just gone, it was only seemed to be us interested. Like, that was the sort of rumours swirling around. Do you think, like you said, that other teams are going to be looking at midfielders? Do you think we face more competition, even though we've got the sign off now? Do you think, because we saw, I don't know if you saw this, but Amadou Onana spoke, and apparently United came in for him, but he'd already given his word to Villa, which is why it didn't happen. Similar with here, Baleba's gone, yeah, I want to come. Do you think that's enough, and he'll as long as we pay the fee, he comes, or do you think he's going to face say Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea? Someone's going to come in and he might get his head turned a little bit.
I think you can look at the window of recruitment that we've just had and the reasons why the players come and what we kind of did, the groundwork that we did beforehand led us to be like, yeah, we're just going to get him. Like, you know what I mean? Even like Thomas Frank and Boomer's old manager went in for him with Tottenham, offered more money, I believe, and he still said no. So I think United are smart enough to go to the player and say, listen, we really, really want you. We're going to commit to this. But it's got to be the same energy. It's got to be the same way. And you've seen, and again, they can show that as proof. They go, look at Mateus Cunha, look at Mbeumo, look at, like, we said the same thing and we promised and we delivered on that promise and we brought them to Old Trafford and look how well they're doing. So I'd imagine Ineos is smart enough to offer like a similar thing. And I think Carlos Baleba, I mean, even a lot of African players you speak to them about and like obsessed with United, absolutely obsessed with it. And I think he'll still be as game. And I think there'll be competition, but I think United can box it off. I'm pretty confident in that. So I'll have to wait and see, I suppose.
Yeah, like you said, like Newcastle, they just took L after L, didn't they? With players?
Oh, mate, that's got to be the worst window ever. And it was so bad.
We were responsible for 3 of them in Cunha, in Mbeumo, and Sesko. We were responsible.
There was like Delap. There was they went in for Sesko, didn't they? João Pedro, Ekatike, they went in for. Like, there was about 12 players. They had a starting 11, didn't they? They made a graphic starting 11.
So mad, that. Absolutely mad. But 2 more exits to get through. Ugarte. Situation apparently is quiet, Ben Jacobs describes. Aram still rates him highly, but he's struggling for rhythm at the moment. No tension in his game. Just really poor form every time he's come in. Amram still thinks there's a quality playing in there, but however, Laurie Whitwell, in his article, I think it was on Monday, really, really good article, go check it out, basically said when he was bollocking Garnacho and basically said, I hope you've got a good agent because you're gone.
Yeah.
He said to Ugarte, you're not the same player I had at Sporting. Your driver's gone, your aggression and stuff like that. I'm not happy with where you're at. Do you think with his dip in form, and it doesn't look like he's going to turn him around at any point soon, because we seem like he just comes in at the end of games. He doesn't start any games. Would that put him on the out list next summer? Or do you think Amorim's got faith in him that he can turn this around and become part of the squad?
Can I answer that question with a question? Because I'm curious to know what you think. If we were to sell it now, how much do you think we get? Half? Bit more?
20, 25 maybe?
Yeah. It's bad, isn't it? Like, to think, I mean, you talk about a £50 million player here, and he's absolutely nowhere near it at all. Nowhere near it. He needs to level up quick. I remember getting roasted pre-season because he had one
you
good
had
game.
Got him, didn't you? Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh, he's back now." I said, "Mate, it's pre-season. Like, just wait until the league starts." And whenever he's come on now as a sub,
terrible.
He's awful. Usually with a player, you're looking at to see things like, is there a green shoot somewhere where
show me something? Show me
something. Yeah. Show me something. And maybe even Mainoo could be thrown into that category as well, where he's coming on and he's not really doing much in a game to warrant saying, pick me, manager.
Dallo, another one, came on as a sub against Spurs.
Nothing. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. At a time when Luis Enrique saw, a lot of us were like, it's interesting. Because Amorim's worked with him before. He's someone who gets about the pitch.
Amorim sold him,
decent.
Though. Amorim sold him.
Yeah. But then obviously he realised that the footballing level is different, right? And I think in this Amorim system with Bruno and Cass, one thing they do have the ability to do is pick out a pass and switch play when we need to and shift it quickly. Ugarte, for me, spends far too much time on the ball. He'll get it and you like release, and he's like also, doing that, and it's
like it wouldn't be so bad. Like if he is holding on to the ball, if he had the strength to hold on, but we've seen him be pushed over so many times.
He gets bullied, doesn't he?
Like he's like, I don't know what he offers. Like he hasn't got the aggression, he hasn't got the strength, the passing. I've seen glimpses of. He has done some good passes. Last season. Yeah. I've seen glimpses of it. So it's in his locker. But he doesn't do it enough.
He's in a shell at the minute.
Yeah,
I think that's probably the best way to describe it.
He doesn't score goals. No. So I'm like, what is he offering the team? Like, I don't understand what he's offering the team.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. It's difficult. Unless he has a real upturn in form, he ain't making his way into that team. And he's had plenty of chances. How many times he spoke about midfield and how shit it's been? The opportunity's been there for him to step up and take the mantle, and he just hasn't done it. And it's weird because when we watched him at Anfield, that performance, I thought, that's the player that we need.
He's had games like that. He's had games
like that. But when was his last really good? If we don't mention the Anfield one, when was his last really good performance?
He was in the Europa League last year.
Yeah, you might be right.
I can't remember what game it was.
Yeah, maybe like a game against Leon or Sociedad or something like potentially. But even then, it's in Europe, innit? Like, when's he done it in the Prem?
Yeah.
You know? And the same argument with Højlund, we've gone about like Rasmus performed really well in Europe, but I mean we're not even in Europe this season, so he's not even going to get a chance there. So I'm stuck with him at the minute. He needs to improve a lot for me.
Yeah, I think we could well see him on the out next year if he does not show up. Whether that's a loan or a sale, I don't know. But yeah, a couple of comments I just want to run through. Real, recognize Real. I like that name. It's really nice.
Yeah, man.
Baleba has been shite this season. Casemiro hasn't. I love Cobby. I hope Ruben finds a way to use the lad. Ben Jacobs, he isn't exactly reliable. Actually, this summer, he's been spot on. Like, he's got a lot of shit right. And all that.
He's been pretty good.
Spot on with stuff, so I disagree with that. Mount is looking worth the money. Mount is 55 million. He clearly hasn't hit the add-ons. No, he hasn't hit the add-ons. But again, he came back from injury, but he's not played him since, has he? Like he's not. It's bench.
Weird.
He's not started, so I don't know.
Weird one with Mason Mount. Everyone knows my thoughts on him as a player anyway. I think it's quality, but
Cunha's not been great. So you think do you know what I mean? He could get him an opportunity.
It just feels like an element of uncertainty with certain things in the team,
injuries,
doesn't it?
Yeah. It's just a weird one. Final out, Xerxes. Obviously, there's been talk of him going to Roma for a while now, and it's been confirmed by a couple of people. Romano, Ben Jacobs, Matteo Moretto, who's Gazzetta Italia. Xerxes could actually leave on loan in January. Roma have made initial contact, but his wages would be a stumbling block. What a shock. Italian team coming in for a player and they can't pay his wages.
Like copy and paste, isn't it?
Literally, they just did he just come and in rags and a tin pot? Like, we can't pay. United may have to cover part of his salary. Fuck that. He wants minutes in the World Cup.
His
He's not going to
salary's not
start.
even that much.
I know he's not going to start in the World Cup anyway, is he?
Covering
Really?
part of his salary. He's on about fucking
I
90K
know.
a week. What are they talking about?
I don't think he'd play in the World Cup, to be honest with you. Does he
No.
start in the strike?
I think he'll get in the squad, but he's definitely not starting.
Yeah, no.
Definitely not starting.
So he's up there. Kobbie Mainoo obviously wants on loan. We've spoken about that a million times. Yeah. This doesn't seem smart to me, loaning him out, because it only benefits him. It doesn't benefit us, because if they're saying his wages are a problem, and like you said, they're 90K, then it doesn't benefit us. We're not getting his wages covered. We've obviously just had the Sesko injury. We don't know the extent of it at this point, so we are down a striker at the minute. Does that just expose us if we let him go in January? Because I don't see the benefit. Like, do you see any benefit to letting him go in January? Unless it was a permanent deal?
I don't know, because Amarim's not playing him anyway.
No.
I feel like, and I've had this conversation with Chivy before. Chivy's like, I don't get why he isn't playing Xerxes.
No, we all say that. We all know that.
But I personally, I think it's a tactical thing. I think Joshua Xerxes is a player. If anyone asks, you ask any United fan what is his qualities, he's on the ball, like playing the ball into him. He's like a magnet, right? And I think because those central areas are so overloaded with players at times, like crowded, you need sometimes a striker to stretch the line and almost leave space for the others. And I think Xerxes, it becomes a bit like, do you remember when Ronaldo and Bruno were playing together and they're getting each other's ways quite a lot? And it'd be a bit of like traffic, like, and it didn't quite feel right. And it doesn't feel like they've found a position for him. Like, they've tried him in the 10, and it's like he's not as dynamic as a Cunha and Mbeumo, or can go 1v1 or running behind. So when he's dropping, it's easy for centre-backs to just push up and attach himself to him. Do you know what I mean? So I think he's struggling to find the balance to play him. And because we're out of the Carabao Cup, and because the FA Cup hasn't started either yet, he's not even willing to give him 10, 15 minutes. So for the player, I would say, yeah, because he's playing minutes. For us, it's kind of like, it depends on the manager. If you think you've got enough depth, because clearly he's playing Cunha there, or Mount, or Sesko. He's not giving him any minutes. If you think you've got enough depth, then I don't see why not, in my opinion.
If he goes to Italy and say he starts banging goals, and we're paying his wages, again, the benefit, shouldn't we just, if he's not going to use it, should we just sell him?
Like, but are you going to be able to sell him in January?
I don't know, but let's say if he goes out, say he goes to Roma, and we're paying half or whatever, and he's just banging in goals for fun.
Yeah.
Like, how's that?
You're going to sell him then, aren't you?
Yeah, I know, but like then in the summer, the Roma are going to be like, well, we can't afford him, but yeah, thanks for the 6 months that he's got us to Europa.
It's the old adage of the shop window, isn't it? It depends how well he does. If you send him out on loan and he goes to Roma and he does, let's say, 10 goals in 20 games or whatever, maybe teams will go, oh yeah, there is a player there, and we'll pay what. I think we'll get back what we bought him for anyway. Like, it was 35 mil with agent fees or something. I think you'll recoup that. I don't think you'll have a problem.
No.
So I do like him as a player. It's just weird, isn't it? With him being a striker, he's just not. He isn't an instinctive striker.
He doesn't
score. How many goals does he score for us?
What was his score for Bologna when they had? Is it 12? Did he score for Bologna?
Yeah, but I think between the figures of 9 and 12, somewhere around that kind of mark, and that's for Bologna, with all due respect. Under Thiago Motta,
they had a really good season.
Yeah, like that seemed like a peak season almost for him. And for United, I think last season he got 4 or 5 goals, maybe.
Yeah.
I certainly remember the one against Lyon, the header, and then I think there might have been one against Arsenal.
The Arsenal game, the penalty as well. That was fantastic.
Yeah, as an impact, like a sub, I don't mind it, but he's not even being used as a sub.
No.
So I think you just recoup the money, and you could probably spend that on a depth player, maybe a wing back or a midfielder or something. But yeah, it's a weird one, Xerxes.
Yeah, he's found himself on the outs through no fault of his own, really. Like, he hasn't done anything.
Seems like a nice character as well. Seems like, bizarre one.
Not fancied by the manager. Brian's in the chat. Shout out to Brian. Brian. Just in after witness one of the best Irish performances in years. Ronaldo, the petulant man-child, gets sent off, was the icing on the delicious cake. Yeah, Ireland have beat Portugal 2-0, Nick.
Ronaldo are they through?
No, so it keeps the hopes alive for playoff place. So they still could get a playoff place into the World Cup. What do you feel? Ireland 2-0 against Portugal. Ronaldo being sent off. No Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, interesting. I haven't seen the tables of who's. I know England are basically in the World Cup,
Yeah,
which
we beat
happens anyway.
Serbia today, haven't we? So
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There seems to be people like for whatever reason, I'm not clued up on historic reasons or whatever. But
so
English,
Brian
Irish, Scottish.
Brian's just said they need to beat Hungary on Saturday to qualify. So there you go.
Right. Yeah. So I'm all for it. In a weird way, I prefer Ireland to Scotland.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because Adam's on the channel or something. I don't know. Maybe because Brian's in the chat. And I think we've got Irish blood in us, right?
We
Is that
have
correct?
McCabe's
Yeah.
already Irish. Yeah.
McCabe. So I'm all for it, mate. Like, especially with Ronaldo. I love Ronaldo as like a football player,
Yeah.
but the way he left United and everything ever since,
He is
one
a
of
bit
them.
of a crybaby, isn't he? Like,
Oh,
he
he
is.
is.
A bit of a crybaby.
He is. Yeah. Neville Glittersing prick. I'm Scottish.
Sorry,
to
though.
be fair,
We have got
yeah,
Scottish in us as well.
we've got
like
Scottish blood in us as well.
Mum's side is
So
Scottish.
I'm just saying, like, if we're playing a football game and it's like, would you rather beat Ireland or Scotland? I'd rather beat Scotland simply because I feel like there's more bitterness from them towards us.
Yeah.
I'm just fighting fire with fire.
Also, Scotland have been historically shit for a long time.
Yeah.
Ireland have had moments and have amazing players like Roy Keane and Dennis.
I'd say now, though, right now, I think Scotland are a better team.
Oh, yeah, no, Scotland are a better team 100%. Right now. But the connection with Ireland and United has been like historic. George Best, Charlton brothers, like there's been a thing. So I just think, we need to beat Greece. Neville is saying, and absolutely lads love to hate you. There you go.
Yeah,
Scottish, they hate us.
I mean, what is football if it's not tribal? You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's supposed to be about.
As long as it's good natured and nobody gets hurt. Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Republic of Ireland beating Portugal. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it?
Ronaldo getting sent off. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. You've seen him. Do you remember? Was it what? Is it a qualifying game where he took his armband off and walked off the pitch? Because of a decision or something.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy's so petulant. Honestly.
He needs
for a 41-year-old man, is there? I think, and a bit like, come on.
Yeah.
What we doing here?
Apparently, this is going to be his last World Cup, is what he said in his interview as well.
Yeah.
So there you go. England have also beat Serbia 2-0, which I mean they should have beat Serbia. So there's no real surprise there.
I know you're not a thingy fan, Sam, as much, but do you think they're going to do it under Tuchel?
I don't think they'll win the tournament. I think we'll go far. But
do you know what? They look good, you know.
Yeah, no, they're good. They looked. What was the last game we played where they looked fantastic?
Well, we smashed Serbia. We just played 5-0. I think it was.
Was it that game? Was it that?
Yeah, I think it might have been that game where. But
Elliot Anderson got man of the match. Was that one?
Yeah. Do you know, like in Germany, we watched it where they're just so efficient.
Yes.
And like everything's done with thought and measurement, and like they just look. The pressure was consistent. Playing really fine football, everything was clicking together. Like they looked different, and they looked looked like a Tuchel team rather than Southgate, like a little bit flaky at times and not sure when to go. And I think they might do well personally.
Yeah, Eze with a goal and Saka. So Arsenal boys scoring.
Yeah, Saka's goal was really good.
No United players in the team.
No, I wanted to ask you about that. When we speak, I can't remember we speak about before, but do you think United players will go?
So who's playing? Shaw's playing for us at the minute. He's
playing well.
Pretty much every game, playing decently well. So he could possibly get in. Maguire could be an option as well. Obviously, he had the knock, didn't he? So maybe that's why he's not played in England's spot. Does Mason Mount sneak in?
Under Tuchel.
Does
played under Tuchel before, didn't he? In Champions League final.
Yeah.
Won a Champions League with him, should I say.
Before he had the injury, he was playing well for United. So there's potential there.
Who's most likely, do you think?
I think Shaw's probably the most likely because we have a dearth of like fullbacks, don't we? We don't have a lot of fullback options. And he can also play centre back. So
experience.
Versatile.
Scored in the final.
At the minute, I don't see Cobby getting in. Do you? I don't see Cobby getting in at the minute, which is a shame.
It's sad, isn't it? It is sad. And I don't think they're going to let him go out on loan either.
Probably not.
I think they're going to keep him and play him in the FA Cup.
The final. I was going to touch on the Oli comments, but we're running low on time. But I wanted to get your thoughts on the Troy Deeney comment, which is a
wonder why you want to get my thoughts on it specifically.
There you go. It's a hell of a fucking comment. This was on the what podcast was it on? The Football Exchange podcast. So it's a real, like, I saw it and I couldn't find a source for Love Nor Money where it came from. And then Chivy found the source of it, so it's a real quote. Troy Deeney on Benjamin Sesko. He looks like a baby giraffe. I don't see what he does. He's 6'4". Honestly, I piss stronger than him at times. He doesn't run over people. He's always on his heels. Thoughts?
Yeah. Well, for my first thoughts when I saw the quotes, because I saw them, I think, on Twitter or something, I thought, oh, well, fucking hell, he's been on TalkSport again. Like, that is their blueprint and model.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
And I know that for a fact, because when I went on TalkSport, the producer said to me just before, about, oh, if you can, stir the pot a little bit and do this. I know firsthand that's
that
their
Liverpool
whole...
that Liverpool fan got the message, didn't he? When
Oh,
you were
yeah,
on there?
100%.
He got the fucking message.
Get me back on with him as well, by
Yeah,
the way.
please,
Fucking
please.
oh, mate, I would have loved to just drill him. So yeah, a lot of times these ex-players they say these things because it does kind of it's rage baiting almost. I think the kids call it nowadays. Yeah. So I get it. You know, it is what it is. Like with all due respect to Troy Deeney, Šeško's already a better player than him. I don't care if he played in the Premier League for how many years.
He's definitely achieved more.
Yeah, like his ceiling is a way higher. It would almost frustrate me so much. If I'm Šeško, right, and Ruud van Nistelrooy says something like that, I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to stand up and listen to it. If Troy Deeney says it, I'm going to be like, it's almost insulting.
He's
really.
probably like, who the fuck's Troy Deeney?
Do you know what I mean? It's insulting. Like a striker who played for Watford, yeah, he might have got a couple of Premier League goals or whatever, but... And he's calling me that, like it is, and it's over the line of criticism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, start saying things like baby giraffe and fucking things.
I piss stronger. Like criticize his form or his technique or whatever.
Like his run, he's not making the right runs. He's not getting shots off. Like, and we could agree with that because that Van de Ven thing, the Tottenham game, it frustrated me more than anything because I'm like, you threw on goal, we probably go and win that game.
Hit it. Just hit it.
That. Yeah. Smash it. And you know what? If you've watched him at Leipzig as well in the German league, the way he hits a ball, fuck me. Yeah. It's like Shaolin soccer. He thunderbolts the fuck out of it.
He had that in the Forest game as well. There was a similar moment, wasn't he? He gets it and the touch and he tries to switch it onto his right and then he ends up losing the ball. And you're just like, just hit it first time.
But it's weird because the first few games, you'll remember, when he played, his first touch was mint. Like, he was playing it into him. He was pinging it off, past left, right, and centre. He had a couple of shaky games. Neville coming out and saying what he did at the time as well didn't help. I don't get why he done that. It annoyed the life out of me.
Does it all the time as well.
He's a young player. Like, just fuck me. Give him some fucking time. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I get it. If he's still doing this in a year's time, I'll be the first one to bollock him and say, you know what I mean. But I think there's a player there, genuinely. I think... If you're doing a grade off how he's done so far, you're probably doing C-, something like that, right? It's especially when you're comparing it to like Mbeumo and Cunha. But he's not been awful. And you've got a new element there with a target man to hit from Son Le Mans, which has opened our game up in a different kind of dynamic, in my opinion. So.
And he's scored goals. It's not like he hasn't scored. Like, he's scored goals.
Scored a couple of goals, got an assist as well.
Like, this is not Florian Wirtz we're talking about, who's 150 million and he's not scored a goal.
Crazy.
Like,
crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, and did you see them defend? By the way, this is going off on a tangent.
Yeah.
But do you see the way they've been defending Florian Wirtz in like the press and on the overlap and stuff like that? Oh, he needs time. He needs to develop. Like, he needs to get used to the league. And so, why is he getting time? Why is he getting this sort of birthway to sort of get used to it? Whereas Benjamin Sesko is like, nah, you shit. You need to do better.
What about Isaac?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Isaac is a £120 million striker, right? Yeah. It's called Šeško expensive. Šeško was still half of that, and he scored more goals than Isaac and got more assists. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's United, innit? We know this is kind of the script with us by now. Had we bought Isaac or Wirtz for that money, honestly, their career would be dead already by the media. The media would have killed them straight out, literally.
But yeah, it's just the thing. It's a good job it was on that podcast that I've never heard of, because if that's on like a major TV, like Match of the Day or something, I wouldn't, like, you couldn't be allowed to get away with that. It
makes me want to defend him more. Like, I'm already an advocate for him anyway, but seeing things like that and Neville and the media coming out, I'm like, do you know what? Just fucking protect the player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Joke.
Couple of last comments. Neville, short only comes to life when there's a World Cup call-up potential. Is that very true? Troy Deeney using United to try and be relevant, simple. He's gone after Sesko because Sesko's looking the least confident. I'm sure for the most part we're happy about him. He's 22. Exactly.
Yeah.
Back the player, man. Always back the player instead of
100%.
fucking idiot pundit. I use the term pundits lightly because they're not pundits. They're just sound off merchants. They like to get quotes out and get quoted and stuff. Troy Deeney is in the same boat as Gabby Bonlahor.
Yeah.
Never did anything
Puppets.
as a player, never achieved anything, and United made their lives fucking miserable. So they're just like, spewing out venom. Gabby Bonlahor, remember that when he said Vidic wasn't shit? But then you just look at all the clips and stuff of just Vidic absolutely just shutting him down.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, Gabby.
You know what I love? The best clip about Gabby Bonglehor, sorry, is Monday Night Football, where there's Gary Neville, Frank Lampard, I think Thierry Henry on the panel. And they go, right, okay, let's take a look at Gabby Bonglehor's touches in the first half, and he's 2. And they're both from the centre spot, and they're like, he needs to do more. So, come on.
I like that. They've got all these, like, Premier League winner, Champions League, Premier League winner, Champions League winner. Gabby Bonlahor. Nothing.
Yeah. Silence.
Move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Late Night Live. Thank you, people, for joining us. Let us know in the comments who you see United signing in that midfield, who you think we should go for. It would be interesting to hear your thoughts. Who do you think will leave as well? Casemiro, Bruno, Ugarte, all 3? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for joining us. We are on 29,977. So we are only 23 away from 30,000. So please, if you're new here, subscribe, help us get to that number. Follow us on Instagram, X/Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. I think we're closing in on 10K on Instagram, which is a number I've wanted to hit for a while. So please do come and help us with that. We were supposed to have a guest on today, but we've had to reschedule due to mine and Nick's lives being a bit sort of chaotic in a minute, but they will be on next week. We've possibly got another one next week as well, so please do keep your eyes for that. Forgetting anything, Nick, before we go?
No, I was just going to say very quickly, I know there's only been a couple of shows a week at the minute, and that's because it's genuinely been like unbelievably hectic with outside work and things like that. But I'm consciously going to make an effort to make daily shows again, because I think that was the best part about it. It was just it was a community, and I think you lose a sense of that in it when you're not as regular and you're not keeping up to news and stuff. But time management, honestly, has never been more difficult at the moment with all the extra demands at work and stuff. So,
like you've moved house. There's been medical stuff going on. There's been job stuff. I'm in the middle of Black Friday for my job, so it's just there's a lot of stuff going on. But we appreciate everybody who comes to join us.
I'd say maybe shouldn't have picked a job in social media as well, because the time constraints is just ridiculous. So
it's non-stop.
Anyway,
it's not a 9 to 5 job, social media.
No, it's not. I'm fucking getting messages at 10 at night. Can you just do this, mate? I'm like,
no.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Right. We'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.